Patrice has asked, I recently did the scene level portion of the revision course and have been using it to revise my current work in progress. It's been so helpful, thank you. I'm glad, Patrice. I have two questions related to that section of the course. First, one of the lectures talked about how a scene isn't the same thing as a chapter, and it usually centers around one event, action, or situation, and it talked about the elements that make up a scene. But I was wondering if we could get a more concrete definition of a scene. It's easy to tell where one scene starts when they follow chapter breaks, but I have a couple of chapters that I think have more than one scene, and for revision purposes, I'm not sure how to tell if that's the case. Okay. Oh, thank you. The revision course has been so helpful. I'm so glad. Okay, so yeah, the definition of a scene, the way that I define it in my head is that it really centers around an event or an action or a situation. But the way that I think that this might help, the way that I look at scene breaks is when I look for the signifiers of a scene break, which is usually a change in time, a change in location, a change in goal, a change in POV or point of view, if you have multiple points of view, or sometimes even a change in event. So for instance, if you have a scenario where your character, let's say, needs to, I'm just going to do a really lame example, needs to run errands, and they've got like 3 things on their list. They got to go to the bank, they've got to go to the supermarket, and they've got to go to the, pick up their laundry. I would count those as 3 different scenes. I mean, this is a really boring book. We're just following this person around. But those are 3 locations that are happening at 3 different points of time, and they have 3 different goals. Go to the ATM, get the money, get the groceries, get the laundry. Again, this is a terrible example, but just for the sake of showing you, those have 3 different goals, and they can take place in 3 different places, and they're going to have 3 different time points. So that they're not always going to be that, distinct, but that's how I think about scene breaks. And what's great about thinking about it that way is it ties into the rest of the checkpoints from that lecture. If you're taking the scene level lectures, you know that there's a lot of checkpoints. Do my scenes have goals? Do my scenes have conflict? Do my scenes have a shift? So centering your scenes around a goal kind of automatically sets you up for some of those other checkpoints. So I hope that helps. And you're absolutely right. There's no reason why you can't have a chapter with multiple scenes. There's also no reason why you can't have a scene that takes place over multiple chapters. It really just depends on where you want your chapter breaks, which is why, again, I do it as a scene level revision, not a chapter level revision, because chapters are completely arbitrary. The author has total control of where they put the chapters. They can do 5 chapters in a 500-page story, or they can do 50 chapters in a 500-page story, and the scene breaks stay the same. So that's why we look at the scene. So I would just look at those changes in time, location, goal, or point of view. And I think if you go back to what is and is not a scene at the beginning of the scene level lecture, that might help if you want to review those definitions there. If you enjoyed this video, we've got a lot more on writingmastery.com. Check the description for links to our blog, free writing tools, and more. Happy writing.